Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Overlord. It is season 2, episode 6, and well, as always, please to see the reaction itself, hopefully this time with complete sound, go down into the descriptions, there's a link to it, and well, just replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots, watch and enjoy. Once you've done, please come back here and hear out my thoughts about this episode, because that one was, well, a new story arc. So, see you soon. For those of you that came back, welcome back. Now, there was a nice one. I really liked it. So many new and interesting characters. Pretty cool. Some a bit weird. No question there. It was split a bit into two parts. Although those, I'm pretty sure, will go into one arc sooner or later. So, let's talk about it, right? We started off with Sebastian. I really like him. I like the concept of him. The butler type, which has, I'm pretty sure, a lot of powers nonetheless. So he went to the Magician Guild to check for spells, which they have, and he bought this floating boat level 1 spell. I'm not sure why. Maybe he wants to use it, but I think it's more like, just guessing, that he's told to check if there are spells that maybe were not in Yggdrasil. What if there are spells that Lord Ainz and all the others do not know? So that's an important quest, if it would be, because it would mean that this world is developing in the meaning of magic, creating new spells that are not from Yggdrasil. And if you want to be prepared for everything, you have to know all of those spells. So just a guess. Or it is that he's just stocking up the spell abilities on the tomb. So guessing like they have a lot of spell scrolls there, which they bought or created in the meaning of what do we need. And in Yggdrasil you could possibly just go on an online market platform and buy a spell when you need it. Or later, you know. This option they do not have yet anymore, so just thinking, maybe Ainz ordered him to like, or Sebastian does it on himself, to buy every spell that they do not have yet at the Tomb of Netherrick, and they possibly can multiply those spells then. I mean, they have a lot of magical users, but I'm pretty sure they do not own every spell that is available in the world. So maybe they're just gathering up. That's one thing. But as I said, that's just a guess. This level 1 spell costs 1 gold and 10 silver, which makes me a little bit question what the coins are used like. In most universes, you have a 10-to-1 ratio, as far as I know. So 10 silver is 1 gold. So if the spell costs 10 gold, 1 silver, it should be 2 gold, but it isn't. So I guess 1 gold is possibly like 100 silver, but just guessing. So if you know, you can write it down, please. That's quite a lot of money, as we know, for a normal person, but not for the guild. I remember the red-haired girl who bought this healing potion in season 1. I think the potion was 3 or 5 gold pieces, something like that. And she stated that she had to sum up the money for a very long time to afford this potion, which shows us that even an adventurer, speaking of normal amount of adventuring, will have to work a while for something like a spell scroll. At least, let's say, one adventurer or two to have this money. So we then saw Sebastian using something that he calls Shadow Demon. So his own shadow is his like your own being. I'm not sure if it is intelligent enough, but at least he can use it to do his bidding, to send messages, or to, as we've seen, rip open a package or stuff like that. Not sure, maybe it's a spell, maybe it's a permanent ability he has, I don't know. But I we'll keep an eye on it, what it is capable of. I'm pretty sure it could be used in a fight as well. And then he went, just by coincidence, he walked through a alley and saw a big guy simply throwing out a girl on the street. That was a bit strange, just by the mix-up. So it was a bag, and my first idea was, okay, there's someone dead inside, it looks a lot like. And when they cut it open, you could see it was a girl, and that was not dead yet. But from what we learned later, what kind of injuries she had and everything, it was not so far off from the truth. She was about to be dead within at least days, if not even hours. Strange thing is that the big one came out after one again and stated he wanted to bring her to the temple. I do not believe that somehow. I really think he just threw her out to die there. It's a bit strange because it was a back alley, but it still is a street that is passed by. So I'm not sure about that one. Normally, if an organization like this that is portrayed here wants to get rid of former employees, to say it nicely, because I'm pretty sure it was a brothel or something like that, they would, I don't know, dump her in the sea or in a river with stones on their legs, something like that, or just bury her. But throw her out on the street is stupid, because that calls in attention. And even if you control the kingdom, as he stated the Eight Fingers do, that doesn't mean you rub it into the face of people passing by. So that was a bit strange. If the big one wanted to put her out and then come out with something additional and bring her somewhere else, then he simply was stupid. He really made a mistake, and in this case he deserves to die by the Eight Fingers, because then he drew in attention. So I'm not sure if he just wanted to throw her out or if he wanted to just place her and then take her a minute later, but even that would have been a mistake. So there was a little bit too much into your face for me as a viewer, but it was okay, because as it seems most other people would have gone by, and the brute would have been able to force others normally to leave as well, which he couldn't with Sebastian. So there we go in with who is Sebastian and who created him. I really, really like that. So there was this voice he heard, a memory in this case, talking about that if someone is in need, it is your privilege and something you have to do to help. I was pretty sure it was one of the I'm about to say ancient ones, of the creators, of the lords, but I wasn't 100% sure. But then there's only one that really comes to mind, which we've seen in the description in the past, that stands with dignity and grace, that stands with such honor to defend the weak. And he did it in the past. He defended Eins, as we have seen. It had to be Lord Touch Me. Touch me if you can, son, if I remember right. So he's the one that created Sebastian. I wasn't sure of that, but it fits him perfectly. And I like the fact that Sebastian seems to come after his creator, that he's doing the same things. So here we are again, the evil Tomb of Netherrick doing good things. So he took her under his wing, he took her under his protection, kind of not really beat up this brute, more like intimidated him, and then even gave him a hell of a lot of money. I'm talking about platinum coins, and not like 1 or 2, those were more like 10 to 50 somewhere. So this is enough money to possibly buy yourself at least a house, if not a village. We once again have this thing that the Tomb of Netherrick is immensely rich, and the value of money sometimes slips them. I think it was too much, and it will definitely draw in additional attention. That might even bring more problems than just the girl, The girl is gone thing is one, but someone who throws around with let's call it 20 platinum coins like that, is someone they will go after because he's important in the meaning of he's rich, so they want to rob him. He's influential because he's rich and they don't know him. And he is, as they know by the Brood now, strong enough and is willing to stand against the Eight Fingers, so he's a possible danger. I think there was a mistake with the coins. So he brought her home. He made sure she is healed. He made sure she got fed. And well, we have a little bit of a problem with Solution, who is not very happy about what's going on. Because she's not created by Lord Touch Me Son, as you can see. She was more like, is that for me? I like that. That was funny. You brought me food. So she's not happy with this. I think there are multiple things. We've seen this in the past when it came to some of the members of Nezarec, that they really, really look down on humans. Because they are not, and they feel better in many ways with reason. Just by power level, they are better. So they feel stronger than the humans as they are. But that's always a problem. That doesn't mean you have to look down on others. We had that in the last story arc, the fact Procutus was by far stronger than the Lizard Men, but he didn't look down on them. He respected them. And that's something I think some of the members of the Tomb of Nezarec should learn. However, she is not there yet. And I think additionally in her mind, and there she might be right, is the fact that they do have something to do. They have a job to do. And taking in this girl is not furthering the job at all. It is a distraction, possibly. It might be, as it seems now, by accident, that taking the girl in brings them closer to their goal. But that is just by accident, not by purpose. Because they were sent out to gather information and to learn more about the kingdom and everything around, about the structure of power. And right now that's what they're doing, because they are just upsetting the Eight Fingers. And we have in this episode learned those Eight Fingers control the kingdom. At least someone thinks so. They're at least a powerful organization. So by accident they do their job. But I can see that she might think the girl is a distraction and should be taken away instead. However, the girl Turare is, well, a nice one. Looks good, you know, a nice blonde girl. I'm pretty sure she was in a brothel. It seems like, well, I guess we will maybe hear a little bit more about it, but I guess she was taken away from her family or anything like that and then just enslaved there. And, well, in the end, when she was broken, drugged, and sick, she was just thrown away like trash, as we have seen. The drug that was used, I'm pretty sure, is the black dust we learn about a little bit later. So, which brings us to the next part of this episode, and that was pretty nice to see characters again. I always like that. So we have Brain Unglaus, who was the bandit leader who was attacked by our beloved Scholt here. And we could see this fight again. I am not sure if she was completely acting like that in this episode. I know that she was going in very easily, like, you're not important, you know, like fending him off easily. Although she stated that I think that there's at least someone with a little bit of ability. I'm not sure if she did this thing while parading his attacks. But that doesn't matter if she did or not, because to him it felt like that, and you can see why. Because that is what he's upset about now, what he's destroyed about now, the fact that he trained all his life, he perfected his techniques. He thought of himself to be like one of the swordsmen of at least the kingdom, if not even maybe the earth, the world here in this case. And possibly he's one of the strongest swordsmen that mankind has, but he was beaten easily. And that's something that is a dagger in his heart. I can see that. he understands, and he states it to Stronov, that just by race, by being human, they will never be able to beat some beings because those are so superior just by definition. And that's a sad one. If you believed before that by training and exercising you can become strong enough for everyone and everything, that's a dagger to the heart. So he's not saying that he's killing himself, but he's saying I've seen you last time, now I can die, something like that, which sounds a lot like he will either kill off himself or just go and search death, or just, waste his life in not caring about anything anymore. Sad one, although I can understand it. And Stronov jumps in and says, "Stop here. At least eat one last supper." Stuff. Let's just eat. It's this the saying, eat something, sleep a night over, and then think about it again. Which is true. It helps a lot. So I'm pretty sure Stronov will take him under his wings again, or at least try. It will be interesting because we have two people now who have seen different sides of Eins and his companions. And that will, in the future, cause some problems. I'm pretty sure. And then we went for this group, which I have on screen here. Which I first thought to be like an evil group. And if you take their names, they should be. But it seems they are more neither heroes. They are more neither, I guess, like an adventurer group, a positive one. I even think it might be one of those we have heard the name of before. There were two big and important adventurer groups mentioned. And I think someone was with something was with this sword she's carrying. But we will learn in the future. So we have those, I will call them the Assassin Twins. Named, I wrote them down. Wait a second. Tia and Tina. Who, so they have some kind of glass daggers looked with blood magic, something like that, I guess. That normally with the attacks they should have killed. But those guards went on, but I think they were turned into zombies in this moment. I'm not sure, however, but it looked a lot alike. Which is a clever move, because if you're looking from afar, you think, well, the guards are still up, all is fine. We have Gagarin, which on first view looks like He-Man. And looks male on first view, and then you realize it's a girl, but it's a huge girl, and possibly a very, very powerful one. So something like, I guess, barbarian class. Two-handed hammer fits. And we have, and there we are again, we have assassins, and then we have someone in the group who's named Evil Eye. So Evil Eye is the girl, I guess a girl as well, with a mask, which we've seen in the intro as well, who can make herself invisible, it seems. So I guess it's some kind of sorcerer class, and she can fly. Always the best thing in the D&D universe, a flying invisible wizard casting fireballs. Just the overkill. And last but not least, we have, I guess, she is the leader of the group, Lachius. Or Lachius, depending on how you pronounce it. With her sword and those, I think it's floating shields in her back. So I guess it is more or either like a shield that is floating in the air there. While the other, well, at least the first three characters seem to be very evil, I would, from what she said, how she acted, think more that she's a positive character. Because she was worried that the civilians get away from the fire that they set. And they are going against the Eight Fingers, against the drug production, which in many ways seems more of a positive thing as well. Although you might say even another evil organization might want to burn those fields. But I guess it is a heroic group, a positive one, at least on paper. Question is, do they do it on their own, or are they in the contract of someone, maybe the king? As we later on jumped to the Eight Finger Council, they were aware of who it is possibly. So I guess they will have a clinch with the Eight Fingers very soon. And I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere, somehow, there, Sebastian would be in the middle whatsoever. It will possibly happen. Although it would be nice to have Momon, the defender, the big guy, come in as well. I would really like it to be handled by Sebastian alone, just to see what he's capable of. I'm pretty sure that Momon could deal with all of it by himself, just by brute force. But we had in this season the very cool idea, in my opinion, to put a light on single persons from the Tomb of Nazarick. So we had multiple episodes that shine a light on Cocytus, at least two, right? We had a light on Scholt here in the end of the last season. So it would be nice to have 2 or 3 episodes with his very own story for Sebastian, to learn more about him, his abilities, and who he is and how he acts. I really like that. It's okay if Lord Ainz comes in from time to time. He is the main character, no question there. He is the Overlord. But still the others deserve a little bit time in the spotlight. So, last but not least, we had the Eight Fingers. I guess this council were all of them. We have not met all of them yet, I see. But there were some interesting characters. So there was Hilma, the blonde girl, who is possibly some kind of an aristocrat. I wouldn't be surprised if she would be on the king's court, and additionally being one of the Eight Fingers. We had this barbarian who's named Zero, who is, I think, the leader of the Six Arms. At least he stated the Six Arms are responsible for the safety of the Eight Fingers. So I guess that's the barbarian group we have seen in the intro. We have this guy in a hood with his, I'm not sure what it is called. I wanted to say circled, but that's not. With a blue crystal in the middle. There were others that looked alike, but without this blue crystal thing. So I guess he's the leader, and we do not know yet who he is. He's still a cloaked figure in shadows. But he seems to be the leader of the Eight Fingers. We have Crocodile. I don't know about that one. I wouldn't be surprised if he would be the leader of the drug party, the drug cartel in the Eight Fingers. He seems to be more like this weird kind of guy who's very freaky, a little bit jokerish, a little bit crazy, you know. Going for very weird shit, to say so. Yeah, those were the ones we have seen talking, just 4 of the 8. They mentioned the Golden Princess, so I'm pretty sure that's the princess we've already seen. And they will do something against the group we see here. So I guess maybe in the next episode, on the second next, we will see a fight between the Six Arms and this hero group here. And somehow Sebastian will be caught in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised. Seeing that Tuara doesn't know where to go right now, I guess she will stick with Sebastian for a while at least. I don't see her going to the tomb, although that would be interesting. But well, in the end, every character that is on their side and they don't know what to do with, they will send to the village, so whatever. She will possibly end up there. But I think there's more to learn here from her about what is going on in the kingdom, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, that's it for now. As always, you know what to do. Please feel free to comment, to like, and to subscribe. Visit my Patreon, visit my Facebook page, and I will see you soon with the next episode. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye, and out.